Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and apologies for this rather abrupt interruption. I will promise you that I will not go on for too long, and if you want me to cut my presentation short, I am subject to corruption. If you were to offer me a decent sum of money, I'd be quite happy to inflict this on the next bunch of people. Hello.
Country bumpkin what?
No, not country bumpkin anything. I said next bunch of people. Now I'm here today, ladies and gentlemen, to promote a brand new religion that is starting online to take religion into the 21st century and beyond. We have abolished the 10 Commandments because the 10 Commandments can end up costing you a fortune, and we are the only religion that are offering you savings of hundreds of thousands of pounds, if not millions, with our one commandment which replaces all the 10 commandments, namely, thou shalt not reproduce, thou shalt not breed. That is your new commandment. And if you join our religion, all you need to do is make sure you do not reproduce.
I love pussy, he says that.
You love pussy? Yes. You see, ladies and gentlemen, it's the heterosexuals that are the dangerous ones. If you join the house of nothing, our religion will not only save you money from having to pay for your children, it will save you a lot of heartache, a lot of worry, and save you the disappointment of your children ending up here like you in 20 years' time.
Every day I got you.
And you can indeed, if you want to, have an adultery. If you've not had an adultery just because it's one of the 10 Commandments, forget it now. Go out and have the adultery for all I care. It's none of my business. The only thing I care about is you make sure you do not reproduce when you have an adultery. If you want to covet your neighbour's ass, if that's your thing, go for it. Honour your parents. Why? Why should you honour your parents? Why? Because they managed to conceive you. It wasn't very difficult, was it? Anybody can do it pretty much. It's time to get rid of the 10 Commandments and replace it with our one commandment, which is thou shalt not reproduce, madam. And these ladies are the dangerous ones, the cute ones are the dangerous ones. Do not fall for it.
Can I ask what's your cause?
My cause is that people stop reproducing if possible. Is that okay?
Right, okay.
Are you going to reproduce?
Why?
That's not a cause?
Yeah, it's not a cause.
Why is that not a cause?
It's an opinion.
It's an opinion?
I think.
All right
I
then.
personally think.
It's my opinion then.
Hey, the world needs to change. Do you know what I believe? I believe that religion is bullshit. You know why? Let me state facts. There's a thing called Soho, right? People, they say in all their religions that being gay is illegal, whatever. I'm not gay, but I just state facts. The fact is, if that's the case, how come then there's religions? Every religion has someone within that religion that is gay or what you'd say is not okay, blah, blah, blah. So the fact of the matter is, why is it we're still living in a world where people listen to Boris Johnson, who sniffs coke, politicians sniff coke, hence why I got a brick phone in my hands, brother, you know what I'm saying? It's facts. The only way we can stop this bullshit and live in a world that's just fucking good is if people realise the facts. The fact is, we're all human. I'm no better than you, you're no better than me. There should be no judge, there shouldn't be no fucking police, there should be just us. And if I see some motherfucker try to rob someone in the street, fuck him up. If I see someone racist in the street, fuck him up. If someone does something wrong, fuck him up. Other than that, live life. Do you get it? It's facts. This is facts. We don't need police. We don't need judges or other humans ruining other humans' lives for the what, bro? Do you get me? If you hate a man because he's black, or you hate a man because he's gay, you're not a man, bro. It's simple, fam. And you ain't human. You get me? Facts.
Thank
So
you.
you've waited to live your entire life to tell other people not to have children.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because it's the. I think it's the ultimate in enlightenment.
Enlightenment.
Yeah, that's what
Like
enlightenment
you get
is.
to live your entire life. How old are you?
53.
53, and you get to the age of 53, and then you're telling everyone else, "Oh no, fuck kids."
No, I didn't say fuck. It's the
Fuck
opposite.
having kids, then.
It's the opposite. It's quite the opposite. I care about all the unborn children.
What about them? As in the world?
From preventing them from coming into this world.
Okay.
I just think this is
But they have their own
this is an insane world.
You're
But then you're-
I'm-
to condemn them into
well,
something.
I think that you're playing God by having a child.
But
That's
aren't you
exactly what you're
attacking the
doing.
wrong people?
You're
Aren't
being
you
a
attacking-
creator, but without really knowledge what's going to come out.
That's what humans are meant to be for.
Well-
And the choice is down to yours, just like every single choice you have, just like the choice of your opinion right now.
Sorry, I just need to get a bit
Just
closer
like-
for the
No.
microphone.
But in restricting the population, you don't get to where you need to be anyway. Because your argument is don't have children because it's a shit world, or have children and bring them up to break a shit world. No. What have you done? What have you done?
You don't need
What
to
have
have
you done
children to
change
do
the
that.
world?
You don't
What
have
have
to.
you-
You
What
don't
have you
have
done to change the
But you know
world?
you're fighting against your own existence.
Correct.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
So you're living oxymoron.
Yeah.
What have you done to change the world?
Yeah,
besides telling
I
people
know
to
that,
have kids?
but I blame my dad for that. He put me into this oxymoronic state.
So you're not happy with your life.
It's not I'm not happy with my life. I have an amazing life, a
Yeah.
really, really amazing life. It's
I
not
believe
that.
you.
It's just that there are so many things in the world that I'm conscious and aware of that are just beyond
So do
any
you think people not
justification
being
for
born-
my happiness.
So you think people not being born will help that cause?
All the problems will be solved by people not being born. That's right.
Not
Because
ed-
all the problems were created by them being born
How about
for no good reason.
How about educating people and letting them?
Yeah, when they're here,
be
I'm all
better
for that.
humans?
I'm all for that.
You're all for that.
Whilst you're here, yes. But the most important education that
Yeah.
anybody can get, in my opinion,
Yeah.
is to make sure they don't reproduce. That's
No,
the most
the
important
best
education.
education is life experience.
Well, no, I don't think so.
Life
have you
life
done-
is the biggest
what have you
education.
done?
And because you've had a bad experience, you want to make sure nobody else has experienced that. But I can tell you, life is beautiful. On
Well,
my
you
end.
might say that
And-
now, but should we go to Great Ormond Street Hospital and see how beautiful it is there? Or
No,
UCH?
you're arguing a different point to what I'm saying.
Well, finish
What
your
I'm
point.
saying-
What are you saying about Great Ormond Street?
Well, life is beautiful. Is just an illusion and a delusion. It's a deluded perception because it's denying the. Whilst there is, on the outside there is lots of beauty, behind the veneer there is a huge amount of cruelty, suffering, abuse, murder.
What is life without that experience?
Yeah, it's the
You
balance of
Nothing.
need that.
We don't need
you
that.
need
Nobody
the
needs
pain.
it. For what?
You need the pain to understand
pleasure.
the pleasure, the happiness. You need it.
I know, but to build
that's
that,
what builds
but,
it.
but that
Otherwise,
that
if
is
it's all happy-go-lucky,
in
then
my
we know
understanding
difference.
that enlightenment is becoming aware, becoming enlightened about what is actually making your choices, and what is informing your choices is a virus. A virus. Do you know what a virus is? What's a virus? Do you know what a virus is? What is it? What is a virus? How would you describe what it is?
Are you
Virus is
arguing 'cause I
something-
could-
No, what is it?
Bacteria that's contagious, that takes over.
Bacteria that's contagious. Are you sure about that?
Well, I'm not
Something
100%
that
sure.
takes over its host.
It's along those lines.
Something that takes over its host. Oh, that's an interesting. Yeah, but what is it?
What would you say is a
What is
virus?
it though? Well, it's
you say,
a
yeah?
piece of code.
It's a cold.
It's a piece of code,
yeah?
like your DNA.
Okay.
Yeah, it's deoxyribonucleic acid. Yeah, so it's a piece of code.
Yeah.
You are being run by a piece of code, yeah, that has not got your interests at heart, by a parasite within you,
So what is
which
that
is your
parasite
own
saying,
DNA. Your DNA is a parasite within you, and what it does is it conspires from the moment you come out, together with the society, to get you to reproduce. That's why it made sex feel so good. Sex is the biggest con ever.
Have you not had someone to please you, right? Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
Hey,
You just
excuse
need to
me.
find
I need
someone-
to tell you something. Weird tap, but weird tap.
Can you say it again?
You just need to find someone.
You've been videoing me, so I need to video you. Say it again. Say it again.
You just need
Sex
to find
is the biggest scam ever played on mankind
Sex is the
by
best.
nature. Yeah, obviously he's saying it's the best.
Who would please you, how you should be, and it would change your life. It would even change your idea on do you have children, by the way?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
What do you
Come on. No
What do
way.
your children think about what you're saying?
They have very mixed opinions. They struggle with it.
He's got shows.
Wait. We started off this conversation by you saying you're annoyed that your dad gave birth to you.
Yes.
Yet you went through the process of having sex,
Yeah.
something that you're against.
Yeah. No, I'm not against it. I just think it's a scam.
So why did you fall into the scam?
Because
Are you a virus then?
Yeah, no, I'm run by a virus. My DNA did it to me. My DNA did it, right? And it's working behind the scenes all the time, my DNA, as was my wife's DNA, right? And your DNA. And if you want to reach enlightenment, yeah, and you want to be human, if you want to be a human, you overcome your urges. You overcome your DNA. That's what humans do. Overcome their DNA.
That's not DNA, that's ego. A lot of us are led by ego.
It's
because
DNA.
Of our,
It's still DNA.
No, because of our needs and wants, we are
Yeah.
led by ego.
Yeah.
And ego is irrational, hence the cruelty, the murder, the violence, or whatever else, because we're focusing on what we want rather than what we need, consequently living in a kind of peaceful world, if you like, right? That's not DNA. That's not DNA. That's conditioned behaviour because what? Ego allows the economy to keep going, so allows a capitalist system to continue, which allows money to keep going.
Listen,
and so it's beneficial for us to be conditioned to work within our ego. So outside of ego, then you have your peaceful world. It's got nothing to do with our biological genes. That's not, you're not born in that way. You are conditioned to behave that way because it benefits society.
I would say that it's part this, it's part and parcel. It's like 50%, or I would say much more DNA than it is conditioning, but the conditioning comes from the DNA as well. In other words, your DNA gave you the ego. It's all part of the plan just to get you to reproduce. That's all it's designed to do. All your DNA wants to do is to get you to reproduce. It doesn't care whether you have enough money, whether the guy leaves you, whether you produce